I'd like to call back up to the stage now Liz Sargent, one of our Visionary Award honorees, for a brief chat about the Take Me Home film that she has produced about her and her sister's story. Please take a seat. Welcome, Liz.
Thank you so much.
Congratulations on being a 2025 Visionary Award winner.
Thank you.
I first wanted to start off by asking you a little bit about your decision to become a filmmaker, because it's not easy. Unlike other kinds of production creative work, the funding is given to you right away if you sell an idea, and then you run with it. This is for TV shows, serials, streaming videos, but filmmakers have still a particular challenge of having to fund and continuously fund as you continue doing your work. So what went into the decision to be a filmmaker to start off?
Yeah, well, I feel like I was always a creative person. In college, I studied modern dance and then experimental theater. So I've always been sort of a generative artist who wants to make something for myself. But my storytelling sort of shifted and changed into something that became very personal, very human. And so I started thinking about storytelling in a more narrative way. And I think that really stems for me from this idea of storytelling starting from when I was a baby. I was adopted, and I think that's the first story you start hearing in your life, imagining where you came from and who you are. My parents had 4 biological kids, and then they adopted 7 more. 6 of us are Korean. Anna, who is the star of my film, is the youngest. And so we all grew up thinking about stories and where we came from. And I just wanted to I feel like I unpack my understanding of the world through these narratives.
So Take Me Home is a personal story. It's very moving. I'm wondering what inspired you to focus in on your experiences with Anna to make that story happen.
Anna is the youngest of all of the children in my family. She's also definitely the favorite, and that's not just being sweet. She is hilarious and totally empathetic and so supportive, and she's smart and witty, and I just love her so much. But I've always been afraid for her future and what was going to come of her adulthood. And so I just sort of took that anxiety and started forming it into something. I think it's also something that we didn't talk about, and I could see these tiny, intimate moments happening, and I just wanted to bring that to light, this fear that we all share together.
Maybe you could talk a bit about how, what happens to a loved one who has an intellectual disability or developmental disability when parents are no longer around. I don't know if this is the case for you, but is that part of the anxiety or stress that you mentioned went into the intention to make this film?
Yeah, I think my parents never wanted to talk about it because they felt it would be a burden on us. But the burden was actually that they didn't want to talk about it because I love Anna and I want to protect her. I always have. And part of that is knowing what's going to happen for both of our lives. So yeah. I lost myself.
They still don't talk about it, or?
Making this film was a way to force them to talk about it, Actually, when I started getting deeper into looking at the process and thinking about the future for my sister, I found communities, I think like CIDA. Well, really, actually, I didn't find anything like CIDA until recently, but I found communities online like Sibling Leadership Network, Caring Across Generations, SibNet on Facebook, and people would talk about this same anxiety they had, and I would see nightmare stories of people who didn't plan ahead. So I forced my parents to get power of attorney to become co-guardian of Anna, just so at least that was set up so I could advocate for her in that transition moment.
Turning to Anna now, who's here with us tonight.
Yeah.
She nodded emphatically when you said that she was the favorite. Come on up.
Oh, are you gonna come?
Here, take a seat, because I think this is a good opportunity for Anna to be part of the conversation.
Yeah.
Maybe we can talk about what it was like for your voice, your face, your life, to be at the center of a story that your own sister was telling. I'm gonna give you the mic, okay?
Okay, thanks. My sister is the greatest sister ever, and I love her a little bit. I'm just messing around.
Yeah, I know.
Um,
Did you enjoy being on the movie?
yes,
Yeah. Was it hard?
no,
Never. Wow, I did remember it. Yeah, I guess it was easy for her. It was hard for me, but easy for Anna.
yeah.
Who are your favorite people on the movie?
Tara, she's my favorite.
Tara was your acting coach, right?
Yes,
And Tara was incredible. It was
Yep.
so lovely because Anna is so charming and so fun and so good at being an actor, and everybody loved her as much as I love her. And they really took care of her beyond their job, really thinking about her mental health and her rest, and taking care of her in all the in-between moments and believing in her. And they knew, even when in the beginning, when it was very uncertain and a very messy process, they knew she could do it and had full belief in her ability. You had good friends, right?
yes.
Was there ever a moment when it was very difficult? When you thought, oh, this is like really hard. I don't know if I can continue doing this, either of you.
Was it ever hard for you, Anna?
No,
No. I guess I have a little bit of a better memory. You know what? It was hard every day. It is hard to make a film. It is hard to make somebody with little short films starring someone who has very little short-term memory. But it required flexibility from everybody, and that was the beauty of it. And you know, on the days where I really wanted to give up, Anna is always my North Star. In the 3 years it took to fundraise to make the film, I always knew it was a story I had to tell, that it was important, that it was original, because Anna is original. And so that sort of guided me through it. And having the process center her as the true star of the film always made it worth it. No matter what the product was or will become, it was always worth it to see her growth during it. Yeah.
Yes. So just to close out, maybe you could talk a bit about what you want caretakers to take away from your film. What would you like them to come away with or learn about themselves if they're in a similar situation? Or how do you think your film could also help others who are not in the situation be able to continue to be of assistance to a community that tries to give more meaning, more activity, more joy to the lives of people with IDD?
Yeah. You know, a big lesson that I learned through this film was that it was, you know, Anna was the star. She was there all day, every day, in every single scene. That is a challenge for anybody with any ability. And it made other people more uncomfortable. It made people uncomfortable to see her in, where's my sentence? In discomfort. And the thing is, I know she's been through so many harder things, and I think protecting her to not have that experience and that growth, and to not be challenged, was the biggest problem, you know, or is the biggest problem. You know, and so places like CIDA, who give people like my sister opportunities to learn, to have independence, to feel uncomfortable, to know that they can get through that hard part, is huge. And the feature film really tries to envision this world of community. And I wrote this before I knew what CIDA was, and I think CIDA is so special. It's something that doesn't exist in every community. We're so lucky to have it here right now. I don't know, this is the dream, to give people that kind of independence, to have her have an outside world and self-agency. So, yeah, I'm not sure if I answered that question, but this is it, yeah.
Finally, I understand that you just finished the long-form production for your film, and even before it was finished, you received the AT&T Untold Stories Award at the Tribeca Film Festival. So, how do we get to see it now?
Well, it will premiere at Tribeca Film Festival in June, and we're in post-production right now, so I'm sure you'll hear about it in some way.
Congratulations, Liz and Anna. Everyone, please help me thank them for sharing their story.